Watch out!
Did the ending of Bayonetta 3 seem straightforward to you? Did you cry? Or maybe you're still sad or angry? What if I told you you don't have to be? There were some crucial details that many people missed in the ending of Bayonetta 3 that changes the narrative entirely, to the point where mine and your views on the ending are about to completely change. This is not a theory video. This is me examining the details and coming to conclusions from them. I've analyzed the hell, pun intended, out of the last chapter and the game itself to enlighten you on what really happened. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? To start, the first thing people commonly have a misconception of is where the final bout takes place. Contrary to popular belief, it does not take place in Pure Cereza's universe, as the start of the chapter clearly tells us it's an alternate universe, just as it's done throughout the game when we enter any universe that's different from Pure Cereza's. We then approach Singularity, who tells us this is the world of his definition, implying this is either a universe he created or a hub universe he picked to create his idyllic world. Regardless, this is where he and Cereza have their final showdown. Things are about to get really crazy, and most of what you missed happens right here. First, Singularity tried to tell Cereza that her struggle is pointless, and that the course of events that led to this world is the immutable truth, one which only he can change. Interesting choice of words. This implies he somehow has the ability to change the course of events that have led up to this moment. It seems Cereza picked up on this, as she confidently says,
"Maybe that's how things work where you're from. But I prefer to make my own truth."
Yup, she is going to make her own truth, and she knows how she can use Singularity to do it. She then proceeds to do the unthinkable. During the fight, we notice Singularity starts glitching out about midway. This is the same glitch effect that appears when different universes of the Chaos Realm begin overlapping onto each other. This implies that Singularity's body is beginning to have trouble stabilizing into this one universe, and is wanting to expand outward to others. Even Cereza and Madama Butterfly are glitching from his perspective. At this point, he still has about 2 or 3 worlds to cling on to: the Alphaverse, Pure Cereza's universe, and this current universe of his definition. But his balance is about to be toppled further. Once this phase of the fight ends, Cereza breaks a barrier on Singularity and strikes at him directly. We all know how strong she is, so this powerful blow is enough to release a bunch of Bayonettas and Jeans that were Arc-Eves from Singularity's body. Now, what does this mean? Are these just apparitions, or are they all alive again? And what about their worlds? Well, to understand this, we have to look at the definition of what a singularity is. And that is a black hole, a bend in space-time, a phenomena. That means when interacting with said phenomena, anything is possible and anything can change because it has the ability to alter both time and space. Cereza picked up on this and used her attacks on Singularity to literally revive and restore the Arc-Eves and their worlds. Singularity himself even says that Cereza outstripped his ability to alter phenomena. Outstrip means to move faster and overtake, so there you have it. This glitching effect we see on the Eves is the same glitching effect we saw on Singularity throughout the fight, and throughout the story when we saw overlapping realities in a universe. This means we're seeing each of these Bayonettas and Jeans overlapping in this universe from their universes. And with Singularity himself having trouble binding himself to one world, he is, at the moment, existing in all of their realities simultaneously. This gives the Eves an advantage they've never had before, the chance to team up on him all at once, which they do. Cereza tells Singularity he clearly hasn't been paying attention to what she's been doing, and shoots him again, releasing even more Arc-Eves. This implies that, while she's released many Arc-Eves in their worlds, there's a chance she didn't get to restore all of them. A shame, but hey, she revived the ones we've seen so far, plus some, so that's great. Either way, Cereza now made her own truth by using Singularity's black hole of a body. Singularity loses his cool and lashes out towards Cereza, and in the process swats the other Arc-Eves away in an attempt to bind himself back to this universe. It's mostly successful, except someone from Cereza's restored world stayed hidden for a surprise attack. Yup, Jean, who is now revived back in Cereza's universe. The two do team attacks on Singularity before Jean inevitably loses her overlap to this universe, likely because Singularity binded himself fully by becoming Definition, as we see once they hit the ground. As Cereza is about to be overcome in the fight, the biggest surprise in the game occurs from the iconic Scarborough Fair gun. Yep, not the Whittingham Fair Bayonetta from the beginning of Bayonetta 3, but the original Bayonetta from Bayonetta 1, who wields the Scarborough Fair guns, not the Whittingham Fair guns.
You didn't cry while I was gone, did you?
This line also confirms even further for us that Cereza is indeed the little, pure Cereza from Bayonetta 1. Matter of fact, Bayonetta 1 isn't the only one to appear. We also get Bayonetta 2, and yes, all 3 games seem to appear in different timelines. They each have a different set of guns made by Rodin, and the descriptions for the guns in Bayonetta 3 confirm they were each made in a different universe. I'll explain that more in depth in another video, probably a short, but for now, just know that Cereza's existence is a product of Bayonetta 1's shenanigans in the first game, and Bayonetta 2 exists in a very close reality to both of them. At this point, Singularity confirms for us that worlds and Eves he once destroyed have been restored, and that his phenomena, aka anything he's interacted with, is now reversed. Bayonetta 2 states that only the 3 Bayonettas here have made it this far. Notice these 2 aren't glitching out, so they seem to have performed some sort of spell or used the the realm to get here. Regardless, these are the 3 strongest and smartest Bayonettas it seems, and they have an epic team up to defeat Singularity. Once they believed enough damage to be done, their spell wore off, and they returned to their worlds, as this particle effect and glow is reminiscent of the teleporter. With the help of Luca and Viola, Cereza manages to deal a finishing blow, but unfortunately she exhausted too much of her magic in a weakened state. And while Singularity literally turns into a black hole to suck up this world he created himself, Luca embraces Cereza and goes down to hell with her. My guess is, since he didn't die himself, he's gonna use his fairy magic to protect her soul from being absorbed into Inferno. Also, in an earlier scene we saw that all the Arc Atoms fused into one, so Luca is actually gone for good from every universe, and now exists only down in hell, presumably protecting Cereza's soul with the aid of Rodin and Madama Butterfly. Next, Viola wakes up in the destroyed reality left in the wake of Singularity's death, and after beating the dark version of Cereza, she inherits the name Bayonetta. How does she get out of this reality, you might ask? Well, it seems that Rodin, who is somehow able to travel the multiverse freely as only one of him exists, picked her up and brought her back to a different reality. Now this reality could be one of 2. Number 1 is that it's her original world and her Bayonetta is actually still alive here, as Rodin only mentions Luca bothering him from hell. However, there's also scenario number 2. This is Pure Cereza's timeline, and Rodin brought her to this one because of Pure Cereza's dying wishes for Viola to inherit her name, and needing to be strong and independent to do so. Rodin and Enzo seem to be the father and uncle figures for her. Regardless, she's definitely sporting Pure Cereza's glasses that she took off during her final moments in the Chaos Realm. Also, it seems Ed and Edna are alive again, so this is further proof that every world and life that was taken under the Singularity threat has been reversed and revived. The only characters who no longer exist in the realm of chaos are any versions of Luca and Pure Cereza, as they perished after Singularity was already killed, separating them from his phenomena. But at the moment, they seem to apparently just be chillin' down in hell, based on what Rodin said. Honestly, this story isn't nearly so sad now after analyzing it. I'm a little shocked honestly, because the first time I played through this, I was super depressed. It wasn't until replaying it and analyzing it that I saw the truth. The real truth. Granted, Platinum Games seem to really want to keep it vague on purpose, probably to keep the whole your own truth motif. So it's possible that this ending is kind of what you make it, but after analyzing everything, this is the product that I arrived at. And with this, I think this is the best story in a Bayonetta game so far. Singularity himself said that Pure Cereza was an unexpected variable. And what an unexpected variable she was. Because of Bayonetta 1, the strongest version of Cereza was forged, and quite literally saved the multiverse herself. What a fitting end for such a beloved trilogy. I hope you all stick around for more videos to come, and that you enjoyed this one. I'm johtojonny. Feel free to check out some more existing videos that are popping up right now, including one where I explain all the timelines.